Hello houseplant friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. There is alcohol in this video, and so it is ages 21 up and older. No, I am just kidding, but this is a mature video. I'm going to be doing a react video to Jenna Marbles' houseplant tour, and she swears. She says all of the words. So if you're watching this with your kids, stop! Watch it by yourself when you don't have your kids around, because there's gonna be swearing. This isn't why your kids don't need to be around, it's because of the swearing. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are celebrating 1 year of me collecting houseplants by reacting to the video that got me into houseplants. This is really cool because when Jenna made her video, a bunch of YouTubers made react videos to it. And I didn't get to do that. Why? Because I didn't even have plants yet. So I'm gonna be making a react video because number one, Jenna's my favorite YouTuber of all time. I've been watching her since How to Trick People into Thinking You're Good Looking and How to Trick People into Thinking That You Went on Vacation Somewhere. Or she was gonna go to like the islands or something and then her trip got canceled. I don't know. It was a fun video. Jenna, if you're watching this for some reason, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for inspiring me to do YouTube. I made my first YouTube channel when I was 13 because of you, and I've made every other one since because of you. And this one is especially because of you, because I wouldn't have started a plant YouTube channel if you hadn't made this video, because I didn't like plants before this. In fact, I think I hated them. Let's begin. Chris is in the background. If you end up seeing him, that's my fiance. I love him so much. We celebrate our anniversary on the same day that I celebrate being into plants, March 13th, when this video came out, which is pretty cool if you ask me. All right, let's do this.
Warning, this video is only for 32-year-old ladies.
Iconic.
And non-binary friends that like boring domestic things. Sometimes it's not for me to understand why you guys want to see something.
Oh, I forgot to say, I've seen this video probably like more than 50 times. I watch it just when I feel sad or I want to watch this video. I love this video. It's such a good video. But I have not watched this video in a couple of months to prepare for watching this video. I did watch it a week ago to refresh myself on some things. I waited a long time to do this, purposefully to do this. So let's keep going, sorry.
It's just my job to do it, I guess. It has been highly requested for me to do a plant tour because I don't know what happened. A switch went off in my brain and all of a sudden I just got really obsessed with plants. I love them. Disclaimer, this isn't gonna be a very entertaining video. I don't know why you guys have requested to see my plants. I like watching these videos on YouTube, but it's not something I thought my audience would enjoy, but it seems like you're interested. Also because
I am very interested.
Because I got accused of running a rainforest cafe at my house.
If Jenna has a rainforest cafe, what do I have?
Can a lady just not have some plants? I'm a complete beginner. I don't have a ton of knowledge, but I will tell you what I know or what I've been doing, and everything is a process. There's different light during different times of the year. If you have like a north or south facing window, which most of our windows are, you sort of have to play around and move them if they need more light. So everything is a work in progress. Some plants are just like in places so I can see how they're gonna do, or if they could live there, and I might move them. There's
this whole thing in the houseplant community where people think that if you have a houseplant in one spot and it's been there and then you move it, that you're gonna traumatize it, and that's not true. You can move your plants around all the time and it honestly doesn't affect them unless you're moving a plant from a high humidity area to a low humidity area, or a high light area to a low light area. If the lighting in your house is more or less the same and you're just like moving it from one shelf to a different shelf, you're gonna be fine. It's not a big deal. People were giving her crap about this after she posted this because they were like, Jenna, stop moving your plants. You're gonna hurt them. No, you're not. You're fine.
To show you. So here we go. We'll start in here. So most of the plants I got from local nurseries, some from like Home Depot and or Lowe's, that kind of thing. And then some I ordered online, which is where the real problem comes in, because you can have plants delivered to you, and that's the problem, because you can get whatever you want. Let's start with this little guy. This is a Hoya compacta variegata.
So when I first got into houseplants, I had no idea what plants to be into. So I just watched her video a bunch and I wrote down the names of the plants that I liked that she had. And this right here, Hoya carnosa compacta, was my very first wish list houseplant.
He's variegated. He's got these white little lines on him. He's absolutely stunning. I bought him as this little plug, so you know, in about 30 years, he'll be a full plant.
Yep. 30
so
years.
This I got at World Market. It's a little propagation station.
Okay, so these things are super, super cute. But if you don't have the money to go out and buy something to put your plants in, you can put your plants in anything. You can put your plants in empty beer bottles. You can put your plants in mugs. You can put your plants in shot glasses. You can put your plants in cups. Everything that you have in your house, it doesn't even need to be see-through, will work as a propagation station. So don't feel like you have to go buy things. You can just use what you already have. But these are really nice.
Little cuttings of a couple of my plants in here, and they're growing roots. So this is a problem for people like me, because now you can turn one of your plants into like 5 of your plants.
It's a beautiful thing.
Wait, that's what that's doing?
Julian.
Are you multiplying
more plants?
Multiplying plants?
In a couple of my videos, when you see a bunch of plants right here, this has sort of been a little bit of a nursery, if you will. So I keep putting plants here and then moving them out, because when I get a plant, I want to make sure that they get enough light, you know, right away to adjust.
Oh my gosh. I just realized I'm not going to be able to monetize this video because of her background music, because I'm not using whatever program she's using that has this pre-licensed music. So if I post it and it's not coming from my account, it's gonna be a red flag. So thank you so much, patrons, for supporting me, because you're the reason this video gets to go up. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to make it. So thank you so much for supporting me. If you guys want to become a patron to help support me so I can make more fun videos like this, please check out the first link in the description, or you can go to patreon.com/plantmeashley. Me and my patrons are playing Minecraft together. We just played Animal Crossing together today. So if you want to play video games or just talk and hang out and chat about plants and life, check out the Patreon.
So not all these plants are going to stay here, but I like the light that they get here. So that's why you've seen a lot of different plants here, and it seems really overwhelming, but I promise you it's not. This plant I got not too long ago, but that's why he's still here, because I still want him to adjust. And I also potted him in a beautiful ceramic pot. And I'll show you a couple of the Hoyas that I potted before in terracotta pots. I guess there's a big thing whether or not you should plant Hoya plants in terracotta pots, because their roots might grab onto the porous clay and then you could rip them off by accident when you go to repot them. I don't know. So I planted this one.
So I've never heard of this being an issue except for from Jenna and from certain online articles about potting plants. And specifically when I typed in that question. It's not really a big deal. If you pull a plant out and it loses a couple roots, big whoop, it's gonna be fine. It might take a little longer to adjust in its new pot, but it's gonna be fine. And honestly, terracotta is really, really, really good for Hoya, because Hoyas are a succulent plant, so they don't want to just be immersed in a ceramic pot where they're not gonna get as good drainage. Terracotta gives extra good drainage because not only is there a drainage hole at the bottom, but terracotta absorbs some of the water in the soil and then it disperses it. It's not really a big deal whether or not you want to use terracotta or ceramic. In my opinion, terracotta is the best in every situation, except maybe you could put calathea or more water-loving plants like peace lilies in ceramic pots. Most people, especially when they're beginners, have troubles with ceramic pots.
In a ceramic one, but some of them are planted in terracotta pots, but don't come for me, okay? I'm learning. Hoyas are like one of my favorite plants, as you'll see as we move into the other room, because they have these thick, waxy leaves. They're just cool. They flower sometimes if you give them the right conditions, and their blooms are like spectacular. None of mine are in bloom. In case you wanted to see one, you're just gonna have to Google it.
Kermit's face. I cannot handle it.
Here in Southern California,
so
good. Good plant. Although some
Look at that face. My guy.
of them need more humidity. It's a different situation upstairs. This plant I got on Etsy, which is also, unfortunately, another dangerous place to.
Etsy is extremely dangerous for houseplant shopping. I would say I buy most of my plants that I don't buy in person, which is most of them, on Etsy. Probably like 20% of my plants. And I don't really buy plants online from stores because stores price things way more expensive than Etsy most of the time, and depending on the plant. But Etsy is phenomenal. You can find amazing plants. There's so much competition on Etsy. Prices are usually pretty low for most of your options. So if you're like looking for plants, just search in philodendron or begonia, anthurium on Etsy, and you'll find some great listings. Just make sure that you check out a lot of listings, and then even some that aren't on the first page.
Find plants that you like. He is a whale fin sansevieria, but he's basically just this one big leaf.
I don't really like sansevieria, but because she likes whale fin sansevieria so much, it makes me want to like it. They're like kind of cool, but I just wish they weren't like $70. Right now they're going for like $60, $70 depending on who you buy from.
It's amazing. Look at him. His name is Whale, and when I ordered him on Etsy, they shipped to me bare roots, which means his roots are just wrapped in like plastic, so I had to pot him immediately as soon as I got him. He's doing okay, but that's why he's here in my little nursery area. We have a nice sheer curtain. This is a south-facing window, so he gets lots of good light while he adjusts.
Oh, her house must get such good light.
This is a beautiful Chinese perfume plant that I got from Logi's, which is the most dangerous website for me that's ever existed. I don't know if you live in other countries, maybe there's other places you can buy plants, but here in the US, Logi's is a very dangerous website.
Logi's is great when they aren't sold out. Most of the plants I want from Logi's are always sold out.
For me, because they have things I had never heard of. This plant, however, is very easy to take care of. He needs almost nothing, and he actually flowers these beautiful little yellow buds, and they smell amazing. They smell like perfume, and some of them are dying off here, but he's got some new ones. He's growing, he's great. This is his nursery pot, and typically I won't pot a plant unless it absolutely needs to. They don't need this, but I like doing this an awful lot.
Okay, we need to talk about this. So people mist their houseplants with misters, and it is so silly because humidity is only humidity while it's in the air. As soon as it's not in the air anymore, it's not being humid around your plants. So misting really doesn't do anything other than just be a fun thing for you to do for your plants. Like she's saying, they don't need this, but I like to do this an awful lot. That's why humidifiers exist, because they're constantly spewing humidity into the air, making the area just pretty gosh darn humid for your plants all the time. Some humidifiers, like I believe the Levoit, there's a Levoit humidifier, senses when humidity drops below a certain point and it turns back on to keep it at a certain level, which Levoit, if you're watching, please sponsor me. Please. Even a pebble tray would be better for humidity than misting. Some of you buy really expensive misters. They don't do anything except for get your leaves wet. So again, I'm not a scientist, but from what I've learned, from what I've read about, and what I've been told, it only does something while it's in the air, and those little misters don't do anything.
Let's move over here to this beautiful ruby rubber plants. I think that rubber plants are one of the most underrated houseplants that there are. They are so lovely and amazing. Yeah. So there's several different varieties of rubber plants. I have this one and then a different one upstairs, but in their natural environment, they can grow very, very tall because they're a tree. And it's actually where rubber comes from. But in a house, you can pinch off their top leaves when they get pretty tall, and then they'll stop growing upwards, and you can have them.
Whatever lens Julian is using is beautiful.
Just be this amazing tree in your house. Like, who doesn't want a tree in their house? I want a tree in my house. He has this amazing variegation. I love her. In pink and red. They're chill. And I feel like people don't rave about their rubber plants enough. What an amazing plant.
They don't, because they're ficus.
Others of them
they're
don't.
Picky.
Stream named some of my plants, and I named some of them. Julian named some. This one is named Ninki Minjaj. She's named after a vine. This is Miss Keisha. Miss Keisha is a beautiful bird of paradise, which can live in Southern California. So my plan B is in many, many years, if this gets far too large, we can always put her in a pot and she can live outside. But I'm hoping she gets big and beautiful. I got the white version because the leaves.
So the white bird of paradise is called the Strelitzia nicholai.
Actually grow bigger and flatter and more open, which is why I bought it. I didn't buy it because I particularly thought it was going to flower inside. It needs a lot more sun, I think. But I bought it because the leaves are so thick and beautiful, and I want it to be this big Miss Keisha in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So she's actually 3 plants. She's doing very well. They like to be root bound in there, and I'm not going to try and repot her until she's busting out of this one. And I really don't want her to be fucking dead. Oh my fucking gosh, she fucking dead. This is Gilly. Gilly is a Monstera deliciosa.
That is
And
such
when
a
I got this
beautiful
plant, I got this
monstera.
at Lowe's, and somebody had did this plant so fucking dirty. So it was potted in a ceramic glazed pot, and the drainage hole
Lowe's
was
does
like
that.
teeny tiny, really bad. And so I brought it home, and I was
It's our boy Julie. For those of you who don't know, I've actually met Julian. He came to campus, and it was really embarrassing because I had to run across campus and something had been happening with my vocal cords and I didn't know what. But when I ran across campus, I had this horrible like asthma attack and I didn't know what was going on. Well, it turns out it was a vocal cord dysfunction attack. So the whole time I'm like hanging out with him and trying to meet him, I'm just like coughing my brains out because I was having my very first vocal cord dysfunction attack. And they made a couple jokes about it. They were like, run so much that you can't stop coughing and then run some more. And they were being super cool. But I literally, this random girl gave me her water bottle because I was coughing so much I felt like I was choking. I ended up getting diagnosed for it later, and it happens if I run outside at all. It doesn't matter if I've only run for 10 seconds. If I get my heart rate up outside, I just have this vocal cord thing. And the difference between that and asthma is, whereas asthma is like when you breathe in your throat closes, with vocal cord dysfunction it's when you breathe out your throat closes and then it doesn't open up when you want to breathe in for a couple of seconds, and so it feels like there's something caught in your throat and you're choking. And it's not an allergic reaction, so you can't take Benadryl or penicillin, not even those like little EpiPens won't do anything. You just have to wait it out for a couple hours, sometimes days. That happened for the first time when I met Julian. But I literally sprinted a mile across campus. I ran a mile to meet him. They were leaving. It was dire, but I'm so glad I did because I got to meet him. I just hope he doesn't think I'm a weirdo. So.
was like trying to let it dry out for like 2 weeks, and it was wet, which means it's gonna drown, it's gonna get root rot. So we had to do a little rescue mission and get him out of there. So that's why some of his leaves aren't doing so well.
For a Monstera deliciosa that had root rot, it looks really, really good. So she did a really good job bringing that back.
Put him in here, he's doing much better. I love this plant. And he put up with the abuse that someone had put him through. So, you know, he really here to stay. This is Bjork, one of the most amazing artists of our generation. But Bjork has some, I think this is called edema, which means the roots are taking in too much water than the leaves can handle, and then some of the cells in the leaf like sort of explode a little. And
so that really just happens because people water their ficus too much, or you didn't water your ficus a lot last time and then this time you like drench it and it's like, ah, what are you doing? They don't really mean anything. They're fine.
my experience with these other leaves, this has gone away, but it has to do with like incongruent watering. And the first time that I read that, I was like, I'm a Virgo, and if you fucking think I'm incongruent,
Wait, look at Mr. Marble waddle in the background. Look at this.
fucking think I'm incongruent, then I don't know who you think you're talking to. So I think that this is temporary.
so good.
At least this has happened on some of the other leaves before. But this is Bjork. She's a
lens
fiddly
is
fig.
incredible.
She is just so incredible. The advice that I read online was that these can sometimes be really tricky plants to
Yes.
deal with
Fiddly figs do not like any kind of draft. They don't like any kind of cold. They want humidity, like decent humidity, like 50 to 60%, a nice, warm, constant temperature, and no airflow. Just no air.
light and water, and they're really just kind of diva-y. This is some diva behavior right here. Oh my God, you fed me too fast. This is too much water too fast. Oh, I don't like it. And if you
Round 2. Oh, I thought I grabbed another apricot, but I grabbed a mango, and that smell threw me so hard. Wow. Did you hear me bang it against my tooth? You probably did.
buy them when they're pretty big, obviously they can be very expensive. So a lot of people online have said try spending a lot less money. Like I think I paid $19 for her at this size.
What?
And
That is an insane price.
if you're doing okay, then you'll have
This
a tree
was a year
someday.
ago,
But
though,
don't go out and
so
spend a ton of money on a big
kinda
tree
makes
because
sense.
they're kind of fickle. But she's doing really well, and she's literally putting out 3 new leaves all at once. So maybe it's a you problem and not a me, because I don't know why you're doing all this red spots on your leaves, but maybe chill out with making leaves. Maybe make one at a time. Welcome to the Hoya section.
I say that in my videos all the time when I'm about to talk about my Hoyas. I love it. It's iconic.
Say they're probably my favorite houseplant. So I, of course, need one of as many as I can find. There's hundreds and hundreds of varieties of Hoyas. They all could, in theory, bloom. I imagine, with my luck, none of them ever will.
Hoya.
But I love them for their foliage.
Them,
I think that they just are
them
so
at the same time.
beautiful and different. I love how thick their almost succulent-like leaves are. They're just amazing. So here's an example of one that I potted in a terracotta pot, so please don't come for me. I'm aware. I'm still considering whether...
All of my Hoya are in terracotta and they love life. Terracotta is like the only way to go in my opinion.
And I'd like to plant them in ceramic pots.
I
This
want her
is
Hoya.
a Hoya
It's
carnosa
so
crimson
cute.
princess. The variegation comes from the inside, whereas opposed to this one, which is a Hoya carnosa queen.
I've
variegation
peeled, like, 2 of
starts
these.
like this, like these white leaves.
But
Look at how
the amazing thing about Crimson Queen is they put out these bright white leaves. Crimson Princesses almost will never do that.
amazing. And then they slowly
She's
goes
so
to the
aggressive.
outside. You're just so beautiful. And
Oh,
these like
I love
long
it.
sticks at the end here, that's where the flowers will come from. So you never want to cut those off, which this one I'll show you. When I got this plant, first of all, it was mislabeled as a Hoya carrii, which is a plant that grows in the shape of a heart. And I don't know if you have eyes or anything, but like this is not a Hoya carrii. And I went on Instagram and I figured out that this is called a Hoya crinkle 8 because it has these little 8 crinkles on the inside. And somebody did this hella dirty because all of these spots right here is where probably the long...
Okay, here's a quick lesson on Hoyas. So she said that when those little cut off woody stick parts are where the flowers will come out of. I'm not a botanist, I'm not a horticulturalist, but in my experience, I've never seen flowers come out of just the end of a vine. They come out of this spot right here. This though, because that end of the vine was cut off, it was probably done to promote more bushy growth. Because when they just vine out like that, they're just gonna go forever in that direction. Some growers want their plants to be more bushy, so they'll cut and then you have this new growth spot right here. Peduncles, which are where Hoya flower from, are these cute little growths. And they come from this exact spot, exactly where the new growth would come from. So, do I know everything about Hoya? No. Do I know where peduncles come from? Yes. I hope that the growers wouldn't just cut off flowers, but that is extremely common practice because when plants flower, they're putting all that energy into flowering and not into growing new leaves. And growers want plants to grow new leaves because it makes the plant look bigger, so they'll often cut off flowers.
This plant hella dirty because all of these spots right here is where probably the long woody stick parts where the flowers would come from have all been cut off. Like someone just went in here and cut them all off. Somebody castrated you. I'm so sorry. And so since then he started repairing himself here with some new growth. You beautiful plant. I hope you're happy here.
Oh my gosh. Peach.
We interrupt this plant tour for a dog fight. This is a Hoya obovata. He's beautiful. He just put out this little tiny...
Everyone loves Hoya obovata. I am not a fan, but I just think it's because it's just like a big old circle. And there's other Hoya like Hoya latifolia, which is called the dinner plate Hoya. And those are sick. But this is like this weird middle ground. And some obovata leaves are really small, like a medium size. So
leaf. He's amazing. I love him. And speaking of circle leaves, this is the Hoya Matilde.
So maybe I just don't like big circle leaves because I love Hoya Matilde. They're itty bitty tiny little small leaves. Phenomenal plant. Love it. I don't know why I don't like obovata the same, but maybe because Matilde there's like more leaves. Obovata, the way that it sits when it's in a big basket just kind of reminds me of scales and freaks me out. Versus these things grow in like a nice pattern. I don't know.
Matilda?
Like
Matilde? Mathide? Matilda, I think. Also got this from Logi's. Just the cutest little guy. You're so cute.
I want to know when she ordered from Logi's. Every time I've checked Logi's for the plants that I like, they're not there. So she must have been on a waiting list. And then she got up at 8 in the morning to be there for the sale.
Cute. How can you be that cute? This is a Hoya curtsii. Just teeny tiny little leaves. He's so cute and droopy. He's still in his nursery pot. And then this
Mine
is
is not
the
doing
Hoya
good.
Ficii. The stream named one of these.
Okay, I've seen this video hundreds of times. The only person I know in real life to have a Hoya Ficii is my friend Chloe, who runs the Instagram page Planted in Provo. I love you, Chloe. She lives in Utah. Love her. She's one of my only online internet plant friends I've ever gotten to meet in person, and I met her on my birthday. Here's a picture. I love her, and she owns a Fitchii, and I lost my mind when I saw it because I was like, that is so beautiful. Where do you get that? She got it from like some grower or something, and it was a more expensive plant. But Jenna just has, like, Chloe has like this small plant, right? Jenna just like has this big old plant. I'm jealous. I want that Hoya so bad.
These
I love
plants
the
vine
veins.
too, but I don't remember which one. Whatever. One of these plants' name is Vine too.
look
Thank
at
you,
the
Stream.
veins.
This one has like a little thinner of leaves, and he's just so, I love you. You're so beautiful. I can see your veins. You're amazing. The Stream
She feels the same way.
named this, I think this is a Hoya bilobata, but I'm
Okay,
not.
this is not a Hoya bilobata. You can see there's slight variegation on the inside. This is a Hoya carnosa that is turning into a crimson princess. For those of you who don't know the difference between crimson princess and crimson queen, the princess has her royalty inside of her heart, right? The inside of the leaves. The queen wears it like a crown on the outside of her leaves. Princesses wear crowns too, but like, that's how I remember. That's how someone told me.
Not sure. That's what it was labeled as. It could just
Bilobata are like purple and kind of brownish. They have a different shape and feel to them.
be a Hoya carnosa. Stream named her La Hoya Jackson. So let's move over here, shall we? So I have 3 Pothos on here. I have a neon Pothos, a Scindapsus or a satin Pothos.
So I'm sure she figured this out. Satin Pothos is actually just Scindapsus pictus. It is a different genus of plant than Pothos. It's Scindapsus pictus, not Pothos. This plant's common name is silver satin Pothos, which is probably why she thought that. Also, she must have had her collection going for quite a while because these pots are patinaing. So unless she bought these pots with patina, she's had these for a couple of months. So
Pothos and Pothos Enjoy, I think it's called. I got these at different places. I repotted them, so some of them didn't really enjoy it, so they had some brown that I had to snip off. But they're all doing very well now. They're pretty chill, pretty easy. This is a philodendron micans, which is what I have propagating on the kitchen table. He is just like velvety and green.
I want a big
and I
old pot
love
of
him.
micans
Hoping
so
to
bad.
maybe plant some of those back in here so I can have a fuller micans, but he was a very, very tiny guy when I got him, and he's doing so well, and I just think he's so beautiful.
and she propagated parts of him too.
Oh my god.
That earring
This
is
right
awesome.
here is an alocasia frydek,
Okay,
which
we need to talk about this alocasia frydek. This is the cutest alocasia frydek in the world. It is part of the hashtag One Leaf Club, and it is so cute. This is one of the plants I put on my wish list when I was watching through her videos for the first time. And I saw one for sale at my local nursery, Edwards Greenhouse, last year in April. I think it was the second week of April was that when I came back from spring break in Oregon. And they had them for $8. If they have them this year for $8, whenever the coronavirus blows over, I'm gonna buy like 5 of them. They're my favorite plant ever. Fred, my very first alocasia frydek, rest in peace. We love you. We miss you, Fred. He's trying to come back. I've got my beautiful new alocasia frydek my fiance bought me.
which absolutely took my breath away the first time that I saw it. This plant has no business being in my home. Do you know what I'm saying? Look at him. He is the only alocasia that I have. I know typically they like higher humidity, but he's okay without it, I guess. So I've
Alocasia frydek is pretty good without humidity, and I think also pink dragon are pretty good without humidity.
bred, but he's not doing particularly well, I would say. I think this is normal. This is a dead leaf. I know they can go into their tubers or sort of go dormant, so he hasn't gone dormant, but he's also not putting out a leaf right now, but I think he's okay. I think he's chilling. Air humidity, and I think he was getting too much sun up there, so I moved him down here. But every day I wake up and I just talk Julian's ear off about what plants I'm moving where and how I'm concerned for this one, and he gets really fucking annoyed with it.
I'm sure Christopher could relate to that.
These are some varying succulents that I just got at the grocery store, except that one, that was a gift from some students to Julian. I don't know why any of these succulents are alive. I don't water them, I don't touch them. They don't really get a ton of sun up there, I don't think. Over here, we have my little buddy Rex.
That is a super cute Sansevieria. The shape of it amazing.
The snake plant, he's one of many snake plants that live here because they are so chill and need nothing.
Yeah.
He's still in his nursery pot. His name is Rex. This is Vin Diesel. He is a ZZ plant. He is also in his nursery pot. This, I would say, if you are like brand new, like I was, and you don't know what to get or what would be happy in your house, get a ZZ plant. They need nothing from you, and they just give you so much love. Like, he's just sitting on this random table pretty far away from the sunlight and just having a great time. Took me a minute to appreciate.
She could put this plant in that dark corner over there and it would do just as fine, honestly.
Just what a special, lovely, wonderful plant he is, because it's sort of like a common low light house plant, but like, he shows you so much love. I don't know what I did to deserve all of this growth and love from him, but he's just like shiny and glossy and lovely. If you come over this way, you'll see all the dishes I haven't done. This is, he's a coral cactus, but this is like the one thing that saved my life. Every morning I wake up, have my coffee, and I walk around, and it's like a nice little meditative experience. I just go around.
So these moisture meters, if you're new to houseplants, you need one. Until you know how to water what plants and what pots need what amount of water and whatever, you need one of these. They are vital to keeping your plants alive and to you not wasting your money.
And I check all their soil.
Wasting your money because you buy plants and then they just die immediately.
Get down to where their roots are. I mean, he's a cactus, so he's chill, but for all the plants, when it says dry, basically like real dry, then I give them a drink. But other than that, I just leave them alone, unless it's like a peace lily or something that likes to be moist. But let's go outside. Stream named this one Coachella. This is Coachella. Coachella is a ponytail palm. He likes full sun. He needs to get watered almost never because he stores all his water in that big tree trunk of his. He's also known as like an elephant's foot. This is an apuntia or a prickly pear.
Okay.
Amazing.
She has the cutest prickly pear I have ever seen. I don't know what made it grow like that, but that is literally the cutest one I've ever seen in my life.
Can't even believe it. What are you? You're the best plant ever. He's just spectacular. I love him. Don't touch him though, or else he'll prick you. He pricked me earlier. This right here is a string of pearls. I originally tried to keep this plant indoors, but then I found out that he liked it outside better.
The exposure on this camera is insane.
Just been putting out these little flowers and just like having a great time. So I left him out here because he's just happier and I want you to be happy. This is Julian's only plant. Julian saw this and loved this. This is a burro's tail or a donkey tail succulent. What did you name this one?
Burro.
You named it Burro.
His name is Burro.
But yeah, these plants live out here. They're both in their nursery pots and I think they look nice and I have no intention of repotting them until they needed it. So like in terms of outdoor plants, I don't have a ton of like flowers or that kind of thing because I don't know a ton yet, but I'm excited for the spring to start learning about that kind of thing because it's something I used to do when I was little with my mom. I just don't know.
This is kind of fun. The inside of the door is painted white for their doors to outside in their backyard, and the outside of the door is painted black. That is chic.
Anything yet. I've only learned about indoor plants, as you can see. But I'm looking forward to that. Aren't you, Julian?
Yeah.
Outside plants. Let's move into the dining room, which is where my too much gene is really showing off, right?
Oh my gosh, her chandelier.
This is
beautiful.
a north-facing window and there's like a porch over it, so it's really dark in here. And before we put all this stuff in here, it just felt like really sterile and we don't do a lot of formal dining. I don't know about you, but I wanted to make this room like something a little more fun and like nice and chill, like a place where you'd want to be.
Sorry,
I thought, what better way to do
blocking
that
my
than
face.
with a bunch of plants? If it feels like a jungle, then you probably want to hang out in it. Or is that just me? Where
Not just
Julian's
you.
standing right now, I have tried many plants. There is no light that can reach here. Nothing. Nothing. This is the location of the only plant that I have ever killed. It was a golden
I love how she's waving this moisture meter around.
Pothos. It just withered
It's like
away
an
and died.
extension
So what
of
we
her.
did in this corner is I threw a chair in the
Okay.
corner and then you have the
This
plants around
table, this like turquoise teal table is beautiful.
it so they can get just enough light to survive, but the corner is filled with something. It doesn't feel so sterile and cold in here. So we got another chair to sit in that corner as well. But I have made many adjustments and many
This music sounds like the Fortnite loading screen music, kind of, season 1.
Oopsies in this room. The first of which was those big planters. There's a couple of them. They're actually outdoor planters. I had put all of these snake plants in because I was like, they'll be fine. They're snake plants. They are indestructible. You can do anything. They can live in low light. They can just be wherever. The only thing they can't have is a lot of water at their roots and they'll get root rot. So they started to just be a little too moist. So I rescue missioned all of these snake plants out of them and they're doing so much better now. And they're in terracotta pots so it will wick the moisture away from their roots and they won't sit in those. But that's also why I was like, what's a plant that just likes to be wet as hell? A peace lily, bitch. A lot of these plants, if they're not doing well in a certain situation, we can move them in other places. So the peace lilies might not stay there. Anything might not stay anywhere. We'll just see how they do. But all of these plants have been here for a while now and they're all doing really well, which is surprising because it's fucking dark as hell in here. So we have a couple of different varieties of snake plant. This one's a moonshine. He is so cool.
Very, very, very popular Sansevieria right now.
Here's another ZZ plant because I just couldn't believe the love the first one gave me, so I got a second one. This one, and this one are all variations of a Chinese evergreen. This is a
Everyone loves Aglaonema, and I just really don't. I understand why she likes it. This room in particular, she's got mostly like kind of a gray and white and black theme throughout her whole house. But this room, she's thrown in a couple different colors. Like there's orange in that chair back there. There's kind of a turquoise blue on the table all these plants are on. So it makes sense why she'd want little tiny color accents, especially since Aglaonema are pretty inexpensive relatively, and they have outstanding colors.
A marble queen pothos. This is I think he's just a Sansevieria.
So the one thing, if it were me, I wouldn't put a marble queen pothos in a low light environment because some of the leaves might start to get like fungusy, which is where they kind of turn brown and wet and moist. Whenever variegated plants aren't really getting enough light, they'll start to kind of get this weird fungus from how low light situations. Hoyas do it, pothos do it, variegated pothos, and so I probably wouldn't put a marble queen in a really low light situation, but this specific one seems to have a lot of green. Like this is a half moon leaf right here, and it doesn't have a lot of white, but this for a low light room, this room seems to get a lot of light. I don't know if it's because she's using box lights to help light it, but
cylindrica, but they call this certain variety a mohawk. Don't tell anyone, but I think someone mispriced him at the store. This is like the low light special room. All these plants are like, I'm cool with low light. Snake plant, snake plant. This is a variegated snake plant. This is a Philodendron Brazil.
This is an underrated plant. Philodendron Brazil is amazing.
This like really pretty lemon lime color going. This is a Sansevieria like Hani. Amazing. He's green. I have a bunch of other ones upstairs of different kinds. This is a Peperomia Ginny, which I wasn't too keen on. Like I know there are people that love certain types of houseplants. Like I love Hoyas, as you can tell. There are people that are obsessed with Peperomias and I'm just not super obsessed with them.
For me, if it's not Prostrata or Piccolobanda, I'm just really not that interested. I really, really don't like Peperomia Ginny, but the last time I said that, I made a lot of you really sad, because a lot of you really like your Peperomia Ginny, and I'm really sorry. I just don't like it.
But I saw this was labeled as a super low light plant and I was like, no way, that's not right. He's been pushing out so much new growth. He's been sitting right here, only getting like a little sunlight and just chilling. So the outsides of his pink leaves are just so beautiful and I can't believe that he's doing so well there. He's like a variegated peace lily. There's another one outside this.
Spathiphyllum domino is the name of that specific variegated peace lily.
It's a different type, but he is also doing okay in a self-watering planter because he just likes to be wet and moist and he's just chilling. And
moist.
This is a pothos on like a trellis. We are moving to my pride and joy. My favorite, most amazing, beautiful love of my life. He doesn't have a name. We should really give him a name because he is just the best thing in the world.
Jenna, if you have not named this plant yet, and you want to name it after the best thing in the world, name it Kermit. I know you can't choose between your dogs, okay? But Kermit is arguably the best thing in the world.
They're okay in medium to low light, so this is a really big experiment. I got him from a nursery because he was a special order for someone else.
That as a wallpaper for your computer would be beautiful.
And then they just canceled their order and I was like, give me that Palm Beach. I struggle a little bit with understanding when he's dry because he's potted in like lava rock. He has some fronds back here that are browning, but they're old fronds. So I'm hoping it's just part of his natural process. But this is the plant that I freak out about constantly because I love him. But I know that a lot of people struggle with palms because they're very tropical. They like humidity. It's dry here, you know, so I'm just like hoping and praying that I can keep this plant alive because he is just so spectacular. They're only grown from seed. You can't propagate them. They only put out about like one frond a year. So I certainly cannot do this plant a disservice by mistreating him. I worry about him constantly.
Could you imagine if you only grew one new piece of hair on your head a year?
Constantly.
That's what this plant
Over
does.
here, put 3 peace lilies in here, and they do get some east light. I don't know if this is gonna work. This is kind of a project, an experiment, but I can always sort of move them around to somewhere else. So over here is the piece.
Spathiphyllum Jessica? Oh, I was right. Oh, feels good. This is another spathiphyllum I would own. This is probably one of the only ones I would own.
Peace lily that was in that corner. This is a Red Riding Hood aloe, I think is what it's called. He got scorched because we had him somewhere with too much sun, but I think he's on the road to recovery, but he's very cool. I like him. And then I have another larger aloe plant, which also we had somewhere else, and he just got a little too much sun. But look at that. He's
got white painted brick.
Recovered his ends so nicely. Do you wanna move upstairs?
Yeah.
Welcome to our bedroom. Julian has been very patient with the we could make this a room for some of my plants that need high humidity. Thank you. We did get some humidifiers in here, and I framed that to Julian, was like, yeah, but it's gonna help us sleep better because it's so dry here. And then if you get better humidity when you sleep, you'll sleep better. Please. So I keep this room with the door shut. If you guys aren't scratching at it, trying to come in and out, at about 50% humidity, which isn't even super high or anything. I know people blast their humidity, but that's like the bare minimum for a lot of the plants that like it. And there's only like really a couple in here that actually need it. Some of the Hoyas, if I wanted them to grow more, you could bring them up here and they'll do better in the humidity. Like all plants tend to do a little better with more humidity. But first of which is this amazing.
I forgot she had this plant. I have 2 of these, and I have a third. It's rehabbing in my greenhouse. But her Begonia maculata whitei is the most beautiful one I think I have ever seen, next to maybe Betsy begonias. It's just so tall. There's so many leaves. It's so healthy. The back of the leaves are so
Begonia
red.
maculata whitei. When I saw this plant, this is one of those plants I was like, I will do anything you want. What do you want? I will do anything for you. Look at the backs of your leaves are red and the fronts of your leaves are green, and you just come out with these
When you shine a light on the back of these leaves, they're actually sparkly red.
spots, like, oh my God. And then to top it all off, in the spring and summer, this plant puts out flowers.
It's true.
Are you fucking kidding me? I have to have it. Oh my God. This plant needs at least 50% humidity, so that's why he's in here and just been growing like crazy. It's just been doing so well. I thought this was gonna be a little.
These, where's my mouth? These look like itty bitty baby spider mite webs. Doesn't matter now if it was spider mites because this was a year
Trickier
ago,
of a plant. Sometimes I get intimidated by plants that look really exciting. So I'm like, I can't have that. It's gonna die. You know, I'm gonna fuck it up somehow. But
that red color is amazing. It is so beautiful.
haven't. I'm just astonished. I've had really great luck with this plant, and there are a little bit of the crispy ends of the leaves from when the door gets left open on occasion, but for the most part, just like really spectacular. This is my only other peperomia. Pilea peperomoides, I think is what it's called. They weren't like common household pests, like scale or mealybugs or anything. It was like a little couple of caterpillars living on this soil. So
I've never gotten caterpillars in my plants before.
these leaves got munch munched, but I have since removed the caterpillars. But it was really funny. I was like, what is eating you? What is eating you? I don't see anything. He's so cool. Like, he's just so super cute. His name is Pod. I have a couple of these throughout the house just to know like what the humidity is. Like if there's a plant downstairs and it gets really dry, I might bring him up here. This is a monstera adansonii. He's the same type of plant as the monstera downstairs, but he grows in this beautiful vine with these leaves, also known as like the Swiss cheese vine. This is one of the other plants that enjoys a little bit of humidity. Very tropical plant, but just like beautiful, amazing. I love him. This is a Poco Roberto. That is Roberto. So Roberto is a rubber tree, just like the one downstairs, but he is a, I forget what you call this, burgundy. He just has these like really very dark green leaves that sometimes
they look pretty green in this light, which means she's got a lot of light coming through that curtain right there.
Black. Honestly, what the hell is going on, Kermit? He's grown so much and I just can't get enough of him. He is so stunning and beautiful and just the coolest. And I also sometimes like to take him into the shower with me so we can shower together.
Okay, when people say that, they must mean that they just bring it into the bathroom with them. Because I've never showered with a houseplant. When I think of that, there's no way possible. You brought it into the shower with you, the water's pouring into the pot, the soil can't process the water fast enough, and then all of a sudden the soil's coming out from the top of the pot and into your shower. She must just mean she brings it into the shower bathroom and then takes a shower and lets it absorb the humidity. I don't understand when people say that, what they mean.
The fuck, dog?
Poco Roberto is just a smaller version of Roberto because I love the rubber trees so much. I have 3 of them at this point. We got another couple of Hoyas up here. This is a Hoya lacunosa, or a cinnamon scented Hoya. So someday, if this plant ever bloomed or flowered, those blooms tend to smell like cinnamon. Although I've heard lots of Hoyas, they all have different colored blooms, different looking blooms, and some of them smell like ramen noodles or chocolate or anything in between. This is the unvariegated version of the Hoya compacta. It's just a regular one, just green. But as you can see, he grows pretty slow, so it would take many, many, many years for me to get one of those plants that have the big, long, like octopus tendrils, which I think are so cool. This right here is my one and only oxalis.
Okay, this blows my mind because this oxalis is not the kind of oxalis you'd see at like your local grocery store or your nursery. This is like a tree form of oxalis, and I have never, ever, ever seen it for sale. I don't know why. I don't know where to get it. It's probably Logi's since you buy so many plants from Logi's, but this is the coolest houseplant, arguably, I've ever seen because it's basically a tiny heckin' tree. How is that stem even big enough to support the light?
Oxalis are like a false shamrock plant. Oh my gosh, it's
a little autumn tree. How?
They're super cool. This kind grows like a fucking tiny little tree. Like, are you kidding me? Is that insane? He also had one little yellow flower, which has now since gone. This is the Oxalis rubra, which is, I guess, one of the harder oxalises to care for because they need a lot of sun. Right here, he tends to get a lot of sun. Julian actually took a time lapse of him because they like open their little leaves with the sun. They're so cool. Over here, I have varying types of snake plants because if there's a spot that I haven't had good luck with plants in the past, like I've tried to have some pothos up here and I don't think they get enough light. I'm like, all right, let's put a snake plant there because the snake.
It feels like we're back downstairs again, but they must just have a fireplace in their bedroom because we went over the plants that were on the right side of their downstairs fireplace.
Plant will appreciate it. This is a starfish, another couple of Hani, Sansevieria japonesa 6 braid. Let's go to the bathroom. So this over here, this is my only Dracaena. He is a Dracaena warneckii, and he's just really cute. He needs almost nothing from me. This is a curly spider plant, which I didn't know existed. I've only ever seen the straight variety. They're very straight. He's already putting out a little baby right there. He's got these curly little leaves. Oh. What the hell? This is our actual bathroom, which one time when Julian was out of town, I just started doing things like this to it. Thank you for letting me do it, Julian. This is another marble pothos and just the regular green pothos. This one's name is Rallyweed. Thank you, Stream, for naming Rallyweed. And this is another satin pothos up here. And this is a lipstick plant, my only lipstick plant. As you can see, I have
That is a curly lipstick plant. They're not for me, they're too compact, but they do really good in most lighting situations.
I've smashed his plastic hanger in here because I wanted to see how he's gonna do. But so far, pretty amazing, because
so
right now, this might not seem like a lot of light, but in the morning, beautiful, amazing, lovely light. That must be enough for all of them to continue being happy, because we just keep getting more and more growth out of them.
I like peeing and pooping in here.
Julian.
Was it really that unbearable that I wasn't paying attention to you for as long as that was? So those are my plants. I hope that you found this interesting. I know there's a lot of plant lovers out there. I know it's always cool to see other people's plants and what they enjoy having. If you want some good plant advice, there's tons of channels on YouTube. Like most of what I've learned is from YouTube, like Planterina, Kaylee Ellen I love, Hilton Carter from Apartment Therapy I love watching, Betsy Begonia is really fun. It's just like such a fun, rewarding thing.
This was funny because when people were reacting to Jenna shouting out some people, they were like, why wasn't I shouted out? I think Harli should have been shouted out. I mean, she's my favorite houseplant YouTuber by far. So the fact that we're friends now is like, how did that happen? We both do the same thing and we talk and what? I don't know, it's cool. I feel like it would feel like that with Jenna too. Like if to watch her and then to meet her someday, I'd probably just cry the entire time and have another vocal cord dysfunction attack. Though that was funny to see people be like, why wasn't I shouted out? Because I'd probably feel like that too. Because it'd be like, oh my gosh, Jenna, who are you seeing? And she probably watched everyone, but those were the names that came to the top of her head. Maybe someday in the future, if things get even more out of hand, which I anticipate they will, I'll do an update. I hope that you... Where's the update, Jenna? I know you might not have all these plants, and they might be in bad condition. They might be in great condition. You might have 3 rainforest cafes in your house. We want to see an update. We need to have an end to the saga. Kermit's face is my face right now. Jenna, please make an update. We don't even care what condition your plants are in. We just want to see what's going on. We want to know. The video's over. Now I have headphone hair. Wow, I didn't realize how tipsy I was until I took my headphones off. Cheers. Here's the deal. Jenna is the reason I got into houseplants. Jenna, in case you are watching, I want you to meet my cat Raven. She loves watching your videos with me. Christopher. I am so grateful to Jenna because if she hadn't created this video, I wouldn't have realized how much I love houseplants. I wouldn't have been so happy with all of the amazing plants that I have because I would have never had them. And I would have never learned patience working on something else's timeline that isn't my own. And just learning how to take care of another living being that doesn't even have feelings. I feel like it takes a special kind of person to be able to take care of something that can't even feel, can't even talk, can't even communicate. All it does is just live and look beautiful. So thank you, Jenna, for giving me that gift in my life because I would have never had that if it weren't for you. Maybe someone else would have made a video that would have really spoken to me on the same level as yours, but I take your opinion very highly because I've been watching your videos for about 10 or 11 years. For as long as you've been making videos, basically, I have been there to watch them. I'm one of the original Dink family members pre-1 million. Especially during this time, I've been binge watching your old podcasts, I've been binge watching your old videos, and normally when I'm bored, I just put on your videos because they're nice and soothing and relaxing, and I love hearing you mess around with your dogs, you having fun with Julian, and you being in a good mood just puts everyone else in a good mood. And I'm so glad that you're still uploading during this time when everything is just really hard. So thank you so much, Jenna, for continuing to put out content. I'm sorry for the background noise. My fiance is starving. I hope that we can see a houseplant video update someday. If not, I understand. I know that a lot of people gave you a lot of opinions. A video with 6 million views is gonna get a lot of opinions, but the only opinion that matters is yours and the way that you want to take care of your plants. Because in the end, they are just plants. They are financial investments depending on how much you spend on them, but they're your plants and they're your property and you deserve to be able to take care of them however you like. So I hope that the internet didn't ruin plants for you. In fact, in last year Rewind, there were 2 houseplant videos in Rewind. It was yours and Connor Francis houseplant tour. If you're here, I'm assuming hopefully that one day in the vast next 85 years of my life, you will see this video. Hope to God, please. The internet is basically forever. Thank you. Thank you so much because what you gave the internet was a gift of positivity and happiness and self-growth and honestly therapy. So thank you so much. And thank you so much to you, subscribers who are watching this video and non-subscribers. What are you doing? Subscribe for more houseplant content. I make fun videos, I think. I never drink in my videos. This is not a normal, but I figure I'm hanging out with my 33-year-old lady friend, and I'm a 21-year-old lady, so it works. I'm legal, it's fine. And your kids weren't here, so it's okay. You should subscribe because most of my videos are completely family friendly. I don't swear. I'm just here for the fun of it. Christopher's bringing me our seed potatoes. They're really gross. Let's grow our own potatoes. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. I don't know why I'm so energized for this outro, probably because I'm tipsy. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts on Jenna's video since we basically just watched the entire thing together. Let me know if you have any questions on Instagram about your own plants and you need help with your plants. Let me know. I will help you. Message me on Instagram. And yeah, I do have a Patreon if you want to support me so that I can continue to do full-time houseplant content. Is patreon.com/plantmeashley or the first link in the description. I play games with my patrons like Minecraft, Animal Crossing. I'd like to play some more. I'll probably be doing private live streams for certain Patreon members soon because they want to watch me play games, but they don't have those games. So like they should be able to watch me because they help my channel live and survive so that I can make you guys videos like these. So if you want to become a patron and you want to help support the channel, there are 5 different categories: the $1, the $3, the $5, the $10, and the $20 categories, each with their own specific benefit. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next houseplant section. Bye! What fell apart, Chris?
So there's 3 different patrons.
I said there's 5. There are 5 different categories.
No, you said 3.
I did not.
But, well, they're all in the next houseplant section.
I said section on purpose.
Section.
A houseplant section in a store. Because I do so many tours. They'll see me in the next houseplant section. I love you.